Good evening, all. Ira Epstein with your Spider ETF stock market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for the evening of Thursday, the 15th of December, 2022. I'm putting this out very early. I have a great friend that came in from Houston, Texas, going to dinner with him, boys' dinner tonight, and got to get out of here early. He'll be gone in the morning, so wanted to see him. Haven't seen him in a little bit. So what about today? Today was Demand Destruction Day. Now, what do I mean by that? It was where four banks in Europe, the Norge, the Swiss National, the Bank of England, and the European Central Bank all came out raising interest rates. Common theme. The market inflation is too strong. They have to slow their economies down, and they're not going to stop till they get it done. Add that to what Fed Chair Powell said yesterday, and the combination pretty strong. But I think it was the hawkishness of Christine Lagarde, the president of the European Central Bank, that did the whole thing in. She has never, in my opinion, I've seen almost all her speeches, probably not every one. I would say 90% of her speeches, certainly as European Central Bank president, maybe all of them, but when she, I think it was the IMF, probably most of them. And I've never seen her this hawkish. I mean, it was like she was the one that held back from going to the 75 basis point that so many of the members wanted to see. This was a big event. And she was a tiger, saying they're going another 50 and they're going to beat this thing down. And again, she reiterated what Fed Chair Powell did. We'll get a recession. It will be shallow because the labor markets are so strong, but it's necessary to beat down the inflation. Otherwise, you end up in the price wage spiral and you never get out of it. And she's right. She articulates beautifully. And if you watched it, as she talked, that's when the crash began. And it was from that point on, you just kept going. Now, you might say it wasn't a crash. I don't know. It wasn't a Black Friday type crash, but it was certainly in unison. Everything let go to the downside. You came down pretty high in all these indices. Look behind me. How much green do you see? You've got it in TLT and bonds. That's where people ran for safety. Let's view this part. Where's the green here? Tesla? I have no idea why. We just heard that he had sold another, $4 billion worth of his stock. Okay, but it didn't do as that rallied any good to ARK, which went down to, these might be new lows for the year. We're certainly knocking on the door. And she just keeps loading up on losers, figuring and crossing her fingers that eventually over time, they will come back. I don't know that they come back, all of them. I don't know that Tesla grabs the market share as more and more cars are going to come out against them. Of all sizes, all sizes. I read a report how Chinese companies are going to not go after the Tesla brand. They'll go after what nobody's going after, these mini car sizes. It makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. So you look at it all and you go, okay, let's take a look and see what we've got. So as we look at Polestar, I told you there's a gap in the chart. You started entering it today. The break at 504 got under the last 511. So you're in that trying to fill that gap. Will it fill it completely is the question. But you certainly can see that the market nosediving is the best way to state this. Staying under everything, not trending. It is just a let go pattern. You don't have a pattern of lower highs, lower lows. I think your major support will come in as you fill the gap. 479, that'll pretty much do it. So if you can get down there, so be it. That would be a pretty interesting move. Are you going to embed? Now, embedding means that you have to get both numbers that make up the slow stochastic to stay under 20 several days in a row. Well, you got one of the several here. Let's see if we can get back one day. You got one of them here yesterday. What about the day before? No. So tomorrow, if we had a good down day, you embed, which means then you can get aggressive selling the rallies in the market, okay? If you don't get it and you just fill the gap, that was it. You had your exhaustion to the downside. I think tomorrow's a real important day. In LIT, you finally got down to the Bollinger Band. You haven't done that, friends, since October. And each time in the past you've done it, you've had one run here where you ran against it, but most times you bounce away. I'm looking for some short covering to come in, but that's not a buy signal. Apple, you know I'm not favorable on this. I think I've been very bearish consistently since I heard in China that they can't deliver the phones. And this is a new low since that all took place. I think we were talking back here when it began in November, not down here. I think it was over there. And I'm pretty sure you're going for the new low on that. In Disney, I want no part of it. I don't know if Avatar can save this or not, but give the movie a chance. Let's see what the reviews are. Let's see how the box office sales are. Does it revive cinema? As already Bloomberg's got a big banner up on their TV. Is this it? The bulls are going to say, this proves that cinema isn't dead. Let me share with you. If you got to wait every 13 years for a film like this, cinema's dead. Number two, who's going to spend this kind of money for this? If spending this kind of money can't save the movies, you got a real problem. They're done quicker than I thought. There's two sides to everything you have to look at. In XLF, all right, you're down to the major support. That's not a buy signal, but I think the short covering is now taking place. You're not embedded. You're down to pretty good numbers. Same in XLI. So, do you remember now, 2 days ago, especially all my subscribers, all right, the paid one in the morning, I put out more get out of long mentions than I've ever done in the history of putting out my update, because the markets, one after the other, were against the upper Bollinger Band. I am now telling you I think the pros are going to cover against the lower bands. So in a 48-hour period, I've gone from saying, I think the long should come out. Now I want to go on record. This is where I think the shorts are going to be doing their covering right now. Hit that in there? I think the same thing. I don't think you're getting down there. This morning I was telling my traders, I said, you know, if you want to be a buyer in XHB, you're a buyer at the 18-day average with a stop right under this low and you're looking for the up here. Why? Because the market, if you saw the 10-year, the 30 years, what's going on, they are not, today, people ran to them for safety. Everybody panicked as the markets were coming unglued, and they were coming unglued both in America and abroad, all over the place. So interesting. By the way, I just read where I'm going to start following the Nikkei. There's a Nikkei price not in yen, the Nikkei index out of Japan, and it trades really neat hours. So I was looking at it. I'm going to start putting it up, and I want to see if it's worth us following because it's got good hours of trade, and it's dollar denominated instead of yen. The old contract was yen, and too difficult for us. This will be much easier. All right, lower low, higher high, oversold. If you fall down here, my word would be if you were sitting next to me, the elbow there, cover your shorts. All right. In the gold market, all you did is fall back to the 18-day average. Momentum is correcting an oversold condition. You still have one of the numbers in the 70 level. It'll be out of that tomorrow, most likely, and then we'll take a fresh look at the market. But it's nothing right here. You're about, and you did lose, one of the numbers here got under 80, so you're not embedding in the silver market. What about hitting that upper Bollinger Band again and backing off? Copper, were we not just saying this yesterday? I said, I think the pros got out of the market up there, and all of a sudden you're back to the 18-day average of closes, and look at, you've begun the correction. I've never said to buy it because it was so overbought. In TLT, it's a laboring rally. If the trade feels funny, okay, the stock markets aren't going to fall apart. They're going to work their way lower. You can finally get some selling in this. So be aware of that. The momentum is telling us that. And in UUP, notice how you got back over the 20 level. Where'd the market stop? Right at the 200-day average. I teach you that here over and over. On the way down, it should be support. On the way back up, if you get through it, it should offer some semblance of resistance. It is. Now, the next resistance point is up at 28.48, but to get there, you got to take out the last rally high. That would break the downtrend of the market. So tomorrow's a very important day, but because you're oversold, not so important to me. FXE, you went right and stayed at the upper Bollinger Band, and you're finally breaking down, but you're still embedded. I think tomorrow is going to be the day where at 9 in the morning when I'm talking to my paid subscribers, this may be a market we elect to enter. We're going to take a look at it first thing in the morning. I can't tell you what I'm going to do here because I don't know until then. Got it? But remember, I keep telling you about what we're going to do, and here you are with what I do. At approximately 9 in the morning, I let the first half hour go of trading. It opens 8:30 in the morning, the market Chicago time. I want all the economic data to hit in the algorithm traders to get themselves into this market. Then we start covering. This is just a sampling. You're already seeing, I'm doing right now Polestar. It's not listed here. I cover Tesla. It's not there. I'll cover AMC. I'll cover GameStop. We rotate all the time. But there'll be 40 markets that I'm going to cover for you. I'm going to do it as a mixture during the week of daily charts, and I'll bring up a weekly chart every now and then as well. Each Saturday, you're going to get weekly charts, and I'll sometimes go back to a daily to make a point because we're looking for that. And whenever I do a bonus video, that's included in this. People pay for the bonus video now about $3.50 when I put them out. You're going to get trade ideas. I have been doing this a long time. I used to have darker hair. It's been a long time. But I think, to me, a chart is a chart is a chart. And if you understand it, you approach it, and you understand to leave your ego at home when you're a trader. Why? Because you're going to have losing trades. Everybody has losing trades. If you're looking for that advisor that says, you're going to find me right 95% of the time, why does he need you? I'm not that guy. I'm a guy that doesn't manage other people's money. I can do fine with that. And what I do is I throw out what I'm seeing on the charts, and we're growing for a reason. People like the honesty involved in it. When I'm wrong, I have risk controls. Can the market get away from you at any time? Anything can happen. But the risk controls over time do their job. Most of the trades will have a tight stop. Embedded trades won't, but they work a different way, and we explain that to you. It's a more of a longer spell that you're in the market for, and we'll explain why. So how do you get to all this? It's simple. And by the way, how many are there in a 30-day period? Because it's not a monthly. It's every 30 days. It's a rotating 30. There's approximately 24 videos, each about 18 minutes long. Tell me you're getting that for $8.95 for that anywhere else. You're not. So how do you give it a try? It's simple. You go to our website. You can see that, iraepstein.com. And you go then to research, and it's all right there. Now, you can also take your cursor and move it to the top here anytime you want, and the cursor will pop up, give it a click, and away you go. Again, 40 charts, market fundamentals, everything you want to work with, right there. I'm Ira Epstein. You have a great day, and I'll catch you all. If I do an update tomorrow for the weekend, it'll be tomorrow or Saturday morning. Not sure which I'm going to do yet. Take care.